What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 10 of the Get Your Game On podcast, bringing you the hot takes, latest stories, and spicy picks surrounding New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Nashville, and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, Grassani, joined as always by Michael Cunningham, Alex Reich, David Heller, Kern, and Marcellus Murdock. If you listen to the podcast right now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. So be sure to follow us on Twitter @GetYourGameOn. And with all that said, it's time to get your game on. Alright, welcome back.
What's up? Let's get it. It's gonna be a good show.
Alright, another episode. Another day, another episode. Before we jump in, we do have Michael, do you want to share it?
Oh yeah. Honestly, I was in like a little hell of a week. I just lost a good friend of mine. He passed away on March 27th, 29th, and I haven't been myself for laying in the West on Saturday. So I know you're looking up. See you soon, bro. I'll see you. See you soon.
Prayers go out to obviously me, Michael, and all Dominic's family and loved ones. Like, I can't even imagine what they're going through right now. I mean, man, I don't really have much else to say, but prayers to you and just prayers. That's all I can really say. So, you guys ready to talk some sports?
Yeah,
let's get into it.
All right. So, we do have luckily a very special guest joining us for today. Alex, David, Michael, since you're so close to them, introduce our guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very good friend of me and Alex and David's in our Tcnjs. This guy is probably the most athletic. Him and my no disrespect to my man Gary Oden and Jacob Simon and Steve that never played, but still. Thomas Persichetti is probably one of the best baseball players I've ever seen in Tcnj history, most athletic-wise. Well, further ado, me and Alex and David want to introduce our friend, Thomas Persichetti, better known as Triple TP, we call him. TP, thanks for being on our show, brothers.
Yeah, guys, you got it. Nah, I was super excited when Alex texted me, asking me to come on. So excited to talk some sports like the good old days.
So TP, Alex, I'll do the first question. You do second. Dave, you do the third.
All right.
TP, what made you fall in love with the game of baseball?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question, dude. Honestly, growing up, I was always a little kid, as you could probably tell. I mean, I've grown obviously as the years have gone on, but when I was in high school, freshman and sophomore year, I was always the little kid that could just hit a ground ball and beat it out on the ground, but as when I started to grow and lift a little bit, that's when it became fun, and I started working my tail off and having some success, and that just translated to college. So that's I kind of fell in love with it. Junior summer of high school and through the recruiting process was obviously stressful, but it worked out. I met some of my best friends, so I'm forever thankful for the game, for sure.
I almost cried at happy. I wasn't the best.
Yeah, man, I don't mean to get deep on you now here, but it's fun looking back on it now for sure.
All right, yo, Big A, what's your question there, dog?
It's about me or Alex? I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Alex.
You got confused there, Michael, saying Big A.
I always call Alex Big A. That's my nickname. You're Adam. You double A.
All right, I gotcha.
I was wondering what it was like to play on NJAC level and having the ability to spread your talent to your coaches and be with everyone that you're close to every single day.
Good question, Alex.
That's a great that's a great question. To be honest, coming into college from being so close, obviously I went to Notre Dame High School, which is right down the road from Tcnj. So coming in, I didn't know how good the NJAC was for baseball, but, spending 4 years and playing some of the best competition in the country. The NJAC is the best Division III baseball conference in the country. So you're seeing Division I level arms every night. You're seeing, these big guys that can put it out of the ballpark at any time. I think we had one game versus Kane where Kane hit 4 or 5 home runs. So yeah, no, it was definitely a little culture shock coming from high school, but it all works out. You kind of grow with the game, and it was definitely a great experience, man. But that's one of the most slept on conferences in all of D3. Yeah. So I think it's the best conference for baseball.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in on that because I do have experience like covering NJAC baseball because if you didn't know, Thomas, like I was a writer for the Montclair, Montclair State University student newspaper, and I covered like Montclair State baseball, so I am familiar with the NJAC conference, and it's like not just baseball, but in all sports, it's a pretty conference.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, even with the homegrown D3 talent, you're also getting bounce back D1 transfers that are transferring back from the Division I level and have that talent, and also coming in and playing every day. So you get a very, people come from all over to come to these schools, and New Jersey is such a breeding grounds for talent, and like you said, no matter what the sport. So yeah, no, that's a super good
shout
point.
out to 2018-2019 Tcnj baseball team. The greatest baseball team in college history, in my opinion, in the D3 level. I'm biased.
Hey. I just want to sit down. Montclair State is 3-time national baseball champions. I just want to put that out there. They've won the national championship 3 times.
Him and my friend Jacob Simon, my man Pete, were the reason why we went so great at TCMJ. And Gary. They were the core four.
Sorry, TV. I just had to throw that out.
No, you're good, man. Adam, you're totally right, man. Montclair State does have those national championships, so I guess that is a leg up on what we got here at TCNJ. But...
Double A, don't take that tone with me.
All right, I have one more question.
Go ahead, Alex.
Go ahead, brother.
I was wondering what MLB player you would compare yourself to.
Alex, you done it again. Good question, dog.
Alex, you want me to be honest?
Sure.
Barry Bonds. No, I'm just playing. But dude,
I don't see the attributes a little bit, TP. I know your swing, but not really.
I wish. Coach wouldn't like that comparison. But when I was growing up, like I said, I was always a little bit on the smaller side. So I used to really like Dustin Pedroia from the Red Sox. Just because he was so scrappy and used to hit massive home runs. But I like Jackie Bradley Jr. a lot just because he has a cannon for an arm. But yeah, I grew up following Dustin Pedroia pretty closely.
What position you played, TP?
I played center field.
Oh, nice.
I called it. I thought I said center field.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
David, you got a question? Come on, David. This is our guest. We gotta ask him. Come on, David.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
Well, you mentioned that you're a center fielder. There's a lot of movements and stuff. The question is, how is your footwork and glove work going?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Dave. I mean, that was my bread and butter coming out of high school. I wasn't a super good hitter, so I kind of relied on my defense, but you don't realize how much you work on defense until you get to college and you're running all day every practice. But yeah, that was definitely something we emphasized, and I think when I got to college, coach really emphasized defense, and less errors are going to win us games. So we really had to focus on that in practice, and us outfielders were always running, man. So I'm glad I don't have to do that much running anymore. But yeah, it was definitely a great experience.
Can I go, Michael?
Go right ahead, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you, TP, about being a student athlete yourself, like for so many seasons. Like, explain to us, like, what's the life of being a student athlete like to you? Like this, like obviously the very tight schedule, like all the hard work. Like, explain to us, like, what was the life of? How like the life of a student athlete like treat you personally?
Sure. Yeah. No. I mean, to be honest, completely honest with you, it's super tough, man. Being at TCNJ, just a student alone is tough enough, just because it's such a good school and such a high workload. That just being a student alone could be very tough. Now you throw in 40, 50 hour weeks with practice and traveling over. It's definitely a grind, but you kind of just have to put your priorities in straight, and whether there's some early mornings getting up and doing some work before practice, before a game, or staying up late. I know I've had many late nights. You come back from a game 0 for 4, couple strikeouts, and you got to do like accounting work. It's not the fun, but it's a grind, and it teaches you a bunch of lessons. So I'm forever grateful for it.
Yeah, I got one more question for my man TP. Go ahead. Sorry, Adam. I was going to ask you, what was your diet regimen like in college, and what made you pick TCNJ out of all the colleges to play baseball?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess to the first question, your diet. I was lucky to grow up with 2 older brothers who luckily found working out and lifting fun, and they kind of taught me, what's good, what's bad, what to eat to put on muscle, what to eat to, stay fit and lean. So I've kind of always prided myself on having a decent diet, and that kind of obviously is a little bit tougher in college, but I feel like,
I know when you're in college, you goof off sometimes in your diet.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, you eat something
silly.
silly.
The swim team are the most healthiest teams I ever see eat, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
No disrespect to my man Eric Murdock, but he had a great diet, but he had the worst diet at the same time. What's up, Emer?
Mike, let me tell you something. If you eat something bad at night and you're running on next practice, you're gonna feel it. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. So I kind of
just remember, I used to see y'all at party, but we ain't gonna talk about that off camera.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right,
yeah, but
Toss, I wanted to shift the conversation now to actual Major League Baseball talk, but but before we get to the nitty gritty, I wanted to ask you, like, what's your, being a baseball player yourself, what's your opinion on, like, the state of the game of baseball now? Because right now everyone's saying that baseball is, like, in a bit of the decline for various reasons, too much downtime, it's too slow of a sport, like, whatever you want to call it. Like, what's your opinion of this, like, where baseball stands in this country right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a super interesting question. One thing I can think of is, the pace of play clock they put in. So if pitchers have X amount of time to throw a pitch, or I guess it's a ball or something, and they're also trying to speed up, in between innings, you only get 30 seconds or a minute, just trying to get the game length down. Because I heard it on the radio the other day, people aren't going to tune in for 4.5 hour games. And it's true. But, playing baseball in college, obviously I could sit down for 4 hours and be tuned into a game. That's just how I'm wired, but I totally get it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how all this works out with the pandemic and everything, but I'm happy we're seeing some fans again. That's definitely a plus.
That's huge. I do think another thing that I think is helping the game is like the movement that like players like Fernando Tatis Jr. has started. Like remember back in 2019 with the We Play Loud movement, and like with all the excitement, like the bat flipping. Like I think players like that. I think that's something that like baseball desperately needs. I remember I did a project like all the way back during my time at Marcellus State, and the Negro Leagues, like way back when, like they embraced that kind of like style showboating like type of play. And I think baseball like right now is lacking a little bit. So I think again, I do think baseball needs kind of more of like flair for a dramatic, if you will.
No, yeah, you're totally right. I think that's great for the game. People tune in to watch Fernando Tatis and players like that. But if I'm a pitcher and I hang a 3-0 fastball right down the middle and he hits it 450 feet, he better bat flip. I made a mistake. So I'm with you on that, man. It's fun to watch.
Just like if a pitcher strikes a batter out, like he has every right to. If he wants to like show it up, he has every right to.
Exactly, and as someone in the stands, watching that gets me fired up. That's now a memory. So
if you dish it out, you gotta take it.
There you go. Love that.
David, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. It's more like a question and also a comment too. My comment is that you're playing the sport of the greatest games. My question is that what kind of workouts does the team do? Right.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of prided ourselves, on controlling the things that we could control, at least, when I was in school a year ago. And that came with, 6 a.m. workouts 2 or 3 times a week. And that was definitely a grind. 6 a.m. workouts. In the season, we were doing 5 to 8 a.m. in the North gym, just running. But it's more just the mental aspect of that. So we kind of had great leaders on our team that kind of set an example of working hard every day, and that kind of carried over year after year when I was at Tcnj. But that's a lot different than high school, I'll tell you that. A lot of running, a lot of lifting.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
All right. If I think it's not to going back to LLB. TP, what's do you have a favorite LLB team? If you do, what is it?
Funny story about that, actually. So when I was younger, my whole family loved the Yankees. So being the little kid that I was like, oh, you guys like the Yankees? I'm gonna like the Red Sox just to make my parents upset. So ever since my young days, I've been a Red Sox fan.
We got
Red Sox. So you're a Red Sox fan, right?
I am. Yeah,
all right, we are officially bully TP from the podcast. Moving on.
Yeah, that one usually doesn't get enough love.
Well, I think it's fine to be a Red Sox fan. For the best.
All right, but going back to that, since you are a Red Sox fan, obviously, what are your thoughts on your team?
Do you want the fan answer, or do you want my complete honest answer? Because they're two different things.
Both.
So, I mean, as a fan, they did make some trades in the off season for Kike Hernandez. They got some pitchers, but I don't know, man. I don't see any major changes from last year. If I'm being honest, maybe 500, a little better if it's a good year is what I'm hoping for. But I think just trading away David Price and Mookie, that's going to haunt the Red Sox forever. Mookie leaves.
I need to ask you about that. If I was a Red Sox fan, I would be so mad at them for a trade away Mookie. It's all because of money. That's the reason. You trade away a generational talent because of money. That's a move that the Rays or the Oakland A's would make. The Red Sox are one of the richest teams in baseball. You're telling me they don't have the money to pay one of the best players of our generation?
No, I totally agree.
The curse of the Bambino, but now there's going to be the curse of Mookie Betts.
Don't say that, Mike. You're hurting me. Don't say that.
Bambino all over again, TV.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. You got something like that, you got to do everything in your power to keep them. So I agree. Whatever's coming is coming.
Yeah, I got a question for my main for this. Anybody can chime into this question, but TP can too. Who are your favorite teammates when you play for TCNJ and for high school?
You want to get me in trouble here, don't you, Mike?
They get hurt. I'm telling you.
Nah, I mean, obviously you're very close with the people in your class. Is I would say my best friends, just because I lived with all of them. Gary, Mike, obviously Steve, Jacob, everybody in my class pretty much was my best friend. But those teams were special, man. I've never really been on teams that it was more like a brotherhood as opposed to, I just had all these friends. So yeah, that was I think a big part in our success.
Shout out to Steve and all those guys. Guys,
exactly.
Don't get mad at TP. That was my fault. I asked him that question. He was on the hot seat.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're my teammates, but I think there's still some friends for life. So,
right.
They're good teammates, but even better guys, I feel like.
Scale of 1 to 10, how much do you miss being a player at TCNJ?
We'll set you free.
I've been thinking about that question honestly since I graduated, and obviously I miss playing, but not as much as I miss bus rides and just hanging out with the guys and BSing and just messing around. So I mean, I miss playing a little bit, obviously, just because it's been a part of my life. But I miss the guys more, to be honest. Just the time spent.
Oh yeah, it's the last question for TP. TP, my favorite game watching you guys play. You guys were down by 5. Me and Alex were there. I think it was the game of 2018-2019 against. I think it was against. I don't remember the team at the top of my hand. You guys were down going into the bottom of the night, and y'all won by 6-5. You were down by 6-1. Not 6-1, and y'all won 7-6 in the bottom of that night. Alex, you remember this game? It was 2019 season. Yeah. You guys had a great rally. Was that one of your best games you guys played as a team, or what was your best game you all played as a game that season?
Yeah, I mean, what first comes to mind is the 2 NJAC championships. The first one, I think you might have been talking about. We were playing Ramapo. We were down 6-0. We ended up winning the championship 7-6. So that was crazy. I never experienced anything like that, dude. That was
a hell of a game. We and Alex were at that game, busting our butt.
Oh man,
they got out to a 6-0 lead, and everybody was like, "Oh boy!" And yeah, it's slowly but surely we ended up winning it. Yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was the greatest baseball game I've ever seen play in history.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's one thing. Like I've talked to student athletes before, and obviously like they all make memories there. But for you, TP, to win a championship, that's something that not all student athletes, not all student athletes have that experience. So like to have that experience again with all your buddies celebrating like winning like a championship or 2 championships, like that must be pretty special to you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's something just to compete every day and go out and win a couple of games, but to win 2 championships in 3 years, that's special. That'll last a lifetime. And I would argue, we probably had a good team to do the same thing last year if the season wasn't canceled. I would have put my money on us again last year, but things didn't work out.
You can't bet yourself as tampering.
Hey, first of all, we were that nasty.
All right, David, you have one more question. So they will give it to you. Then I have one final question, and then TP will let you go.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll go first then.
Yeah, go, David.
My question is, you said you're a Red Sox fan. What is your favorite memory of the Red Sox history?
Oh, Dave, you
got 4 championships. You got a lot to pick from, TP. You got 4 championships. You got a lot to pick from.
Besides the World Series. That's what I mean.
World Series should be at the top of the list, David. What are you talking about? You can't just ban 4 World Series on the list.
You probably will say when they won the World Series in 2004, when they break the curse of their Bambino was broken. I think that is probably on TP's list.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously got to be on it, but I don't really remember that. Honestly, I only remember the most recent one, which was I think they were playing at Dodgers too, so that was even crazier that they handled the Dodgers like I think it was 4 or 5 games. That was pretty cool.
I think it was it 5 or 6 games?
It was 6 games. Somebody look it up. We'll look it up.
I'll look it up very quickly. TP, go ahead.
I just remember I wasn't like. I think they had the series, they were in control the whole time. That's why I was pretty cool as a fan. You were never like really, obviously you're stressing because it's a World Series, but I was never really, on the edge of my seat wondering if they were going to get it done. I still have the shirt. It might be a little small now, but it's in my closet.
Yeah, it was 5 games. It was 5 games. All right, any final questions before I close it out?
Anybody else got a question? So,
all right.
Okay. What other schools were looking at you, TP?
Oh, good
one. So, I was talking to a bunch of D3 schools. I had a really good travel coach who had a bunch of contacts with D3 schools, but I was really close to going to LaSalle. I tell my friends this story when they ask. I was, LaSalle University in Philadelphia. My brother went there, so I was in contact with their coach, and one of my buddies just committed. So, we were in contact all summer, talking on the phone and whatnot. And I was like, damn, I'm going D1. Like, this is awesome. And then they had another outfielder commit for the last spot in the outfield they had. And the guy called me. He was like, all of our outfield spots are filled up right now. And I got off the phone, threw my phone at the wall. I was like, I got to go to TCNJ, whatever. But it worked out. I wouldn't choose it.
Yeah.
He's like, thank God TP did not go to university. That's why me and Alex did. Sorry, TP.
It happens for a reason, man. I couldn't have chosen a better place to spend 4 years.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm about to say it turned out well anyway, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very easy to look back and say like, oh, what if like that opportunity worked out? But I definitely but you definitely make a point that like once you make those experiences, you look back and say, I wouldn't trade those for the world.
Oh, 100%.
All right.
I wouldn't change a thing.
All right, TP. Before we let you go, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Give me your predictions for the upcoming LVC season. It could be World Series winner, ALCS, LCS, MVP, Cy Youngs, whatever. Go for
TP,
it.
be realistic, TP.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll save you.
Keep it semi-realistic because we do have archives here. This is going to be saved.
All right. So if you want to hear my prediction, this is going to go against the grain, but I think the Padres are taking home the World Series this year. Just because they had some great offseason signings, and I was sold on them last year, but I think they got some new arms that nobody sees it coming. So watch out for the Padres.
Yeah,
Tom Persichetti said this on camera. That
you better save this episode.
My
team. All right. So TP, we thank you for coming on. It was also to hear all your experiences playing for Tcnj. Again, just talking baseball with you in general. Again, we thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no, you got it, guys. Thanks for asking me. It's always fun catching up with you guys. So appreciate you asking me, and stay safe, everyone.
All right.
Take
guys. Care.
Thanks, CP.
All right, that was Thomas Persichetti, former baseball player for the College of New Jersey. So it was nice to have him on. Nice to have him talk so much baseball with them. So now we're gonna get into one of everyone's favorite segments of the show. I mean, it's normally one of the best. It's normally a highlight of the show, but you know what? Last episode, I'm not gonna lie, Michael, your hot take was pretty weak. So I'm expecting you to rebound this time around. So now we get into Mike's hot take. Michael, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, what would my hot take be? What would it be? What would it be? We're doing a baseball show today. Last week I had a weak hot take by everyone in this contest, especially Chris. Sorry, something in my throat. My hot take is why Yankees screwed me last night. That terrible last night loss with the Yankees last night.
Oh man.
DJ LeMahieu, we were in bottom of the 11, 2 outs. We just need a run. We had 1 out. Adam, what was the score last night?
The score was
4-3, bottom of the 11. 4-3, bottom of the 11. Bottom 11. DJ, he had a hitter's count, I believe. It was a 2-1 count, right?
Yeah.
2-1 count. You had 1 out. Honestly, for the Yankees, they should have put a pinch runner in because they know they're trying to get that tie-in run. That's what I would have did differently. But that's what Yankees baseball is known for, doing the squeeze play. Ever since we had Joe Girardi as our manager, we were known for wanting to come back from behind victories. The Yankees, in my opinion, have to play better. We can't play like the old days, how we want come back from behind victories. This is why we got the best hitter in the game in the AL is DJ LeMahieu, all-around hitter. Is DJ LeMahieu. Name one other player that's better than him as an all-around hitter. I'm not talking about a power hitter. I'm not talking about contact. I'm talking about all-around hitter. It's DJ LeMahieu, probably the best player in the game.
I would say Aaron Judge.
All right, Aaron Judge.
How about John Stanton?
I would take DJ over Stanton.
Here's the thing: DJ LeMahieu had a great pitch.
At the very least, I would take DJ's last 2 years of the Yankees over Stanton during his Yankee 10-year career. But if we're talking about MVP level Stanton, then obviously I would take MVP Stanton over DJ LeMahieu. But if we're talking about Stanton over during his time, if you talk about both Stanton and DJ during the time of the Yankees, I think DJ's been better.
Yeah, honestly, I believe, in my opinion, that the Yankees should have won that game. They should have won it.
I agree. They definitely should have won that game.
But here's the thing that pisses me off. They always want to play hero baseball. Once have that big moment, play great. You had, that's what they did last Saturday. They should have did last Friday. They were on opening day. They had chances to win and win. What they do? They keep screwing up. We are 1-5. That is not Yankee baseball. We are the problem. We have the best history of baseball history. We're known. When you think of baseball, you think of New York Yankees. What do you think about? Winning championships, getting to the postseason, the greatest fan base. I'm sorry, Alex.
Mike, just to let you know, you said the Yankees are 1-5. They are 3-3.
My bad. They were 1-5 last time I saw them play. They're 3-3.
They're 3-3, Michael. Don't exaggerate.
Yeah.
When you look at their record, it's not like they are off to a 0-6 start. They've been playing all right, but there are definitely some areas of concern with the Yankees, and there's one concern that in my opinion, like here's one of my biggest concerns, and it pains me to say this because I said before he's my favorite player on the team. Gleyber Torres has to get better defensively, man.
100%.
I mean, did you guys see like that error? Everyone knows that error he made in the bottom of the 10th inning. Like he had a chance to it was a routine ground ball. Like any other shortstop makes it any over, it's still a tie game. He makes a very, very bad throw and it ends up going past Bruce. You could make the argument like that Jay Bruce it was still a catchable ball, but it was still a catchable ball. Bruce should still caught, but here's the thing: Gleyber needs to make a better throw there. It's simple. Like Gleyber needs to make a better throw there, and this has not been the only. And this is the recurring trend with Gleyber going back to 2020. Like he would miss these routine plays at shortstop that an average MLB shortstop makes, and we asked the question going into the last offseason, is Gleyber Torres a legitimate MLB shortstop? And I honestly he's done himself no favors so far this season in terms of his defense.
Honestly, Adam, the Yankees are a good team on paper, but we gotta get better all around. You know what I mean?
I agree.
We had probably the two best power hitters in probably the top 10 best power hitters. Top two, Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge.
They're both in terms of power hitters, I say they're both top 5. If we're talking,
they're probably both top 5 power hitters in the league, in the whole AL league. Honestly, we got the best pitcher in the freaking offseason signs. The best pitcher in Cole.
Yeah, Cole. I would say DeGrom's better, but Cole's definitely up there. He's definitely at least top 3.
We got the biggest shark. Honestly, for me, only team I'm worried about for the Yankees to lose to. I'm not saying it's probably the Blue Jays or the Orioles. I'm not worried about the Red Sox because this is their rebuilding year. But who knows? You can have one bad rebuilding year, and halfway during the season, you become a great baseball team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. David, Chris, Alex, you guys have anything to say?
Speaking of the Blue Jays, they start a 3-game series against them, I think, next Monday. And it's going to be, I think Garrett Cole is pitching game 1 of next week against Ryu. And Ryu has been decent, and I think he might give the Yankees offense a little trouble with his pitching.
I mean, yeah, Ryu's a great pitcher. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely he gave the Yankees trouble in opening day. He only allowed 2 runs. I mean, Ryu's definitely one of the better pitchers in baseball. The thing about the Blue Jays is, and my concern with them, as I said before, who do they have beyond Ryu? They who's what pitching depth do they have beyond Ryu? They don't. Ryu's our only reliable option. Ryu's
How about
only
Tanner
really...
Roark?
What? Tanner Roark? I mean,
Roark.
He's decent, but he's not here's the thing. Who is the Yankees' second best pitcher behind Garrett Cole? It's either Corey Kluber, or you could argue with when healthy Luis Severino. Either or, you pick either of them. The gap between those between the Yankees' best pitcher and their second best pitcher is much shorter, in my opinion, than the gap between Ryu and Rourke.
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, David, you have anything to say?
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting what the Yankees will do. But I'm going to say this as a sportsmanship. I hope they do better. Just not the night against the Orioles.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The Yankees the Yankees except for I think we're overreacting. I think fans are overreacting. Like I said, it's only the first 3 games. I think we still need time, but I definitely think that yeah, there are concerns with there are definitely like concerns with the team, as there are every single year, and you keep on wondering the Yankees are definitely one of the best teams in all of baseball. Like they're definitely like at the very least a contender to. If the Yankees went out and won the World Series, no, it wouldn't be like a shocking upset. Like it would be like the Yankees do have championship expectations, but there are just so many concerns with this team, that need to be addressed. Like again, like going back to the postseasons, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. The Yankees offense just has proven that they normally aren't as good in the postseason as they are like in the regular season. The offense typically takes a step back in the postseason. What else? Like again, the experience I've had with Gleyber Torres' defense right now, I'm sorry, do any of you guys feel comfortable with Gleyber Torres as shortstop? Because right now I don't.
Honestly, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, Gleyber Torres is definitely a great player, and
He has to work on his glove. He has to work on his glove.
Defensively, at second base, he's all right defensively. Like he's solid defensively at second base, but he just can't play shortstop on a consistent basis.
You know
I just don't think
I
don't think his arm is strong enough. If you look back to in 2020, he made I believe 10 errors, regular season and postseason combined. 6 of them were throwing errors. So you have to wonder, I just don't think the guy has the arm necessary to
They're trying to do what they did with. They're trying to do what they did with A-Rod, making him a shortstop to third baseman with Gleyber Torres. With Torres.
I think they should do, but here's the problem. Let's say the Yankees moved Gleyber Torres to second base. Who's your shortstop?
DJ LeMahieu is all good all around infielder,
but he's never played shortstop before. I don't think DJ LeMahieu.
That's the problem.
Honestly,
one option that I've seen throwing out. I do think it's an interesting option. You guys have saw that Gio Urshela has been taking reps at shortstop recently.
Yeah.
So how about I was thinking you move Gio to shortstop, move DJ LeMahieu to third base where he's proven that he's more than capable of playing, and you move Gleyber Torres back to second base.
Who will be our first baseman?
Luke. Right now, Jay Bruce, Luke Voigt when he's healthy.
All right. Yo, you know who I think we should get rid of? I'm sorry for the Yankees. Brett Gardner need to go. Brett Gardner gotta go.
I don't know if he needs to go though.
I mean, he can't play no more. He gotta give it up.
I don't know about that, Michael.
I still think he might have a little bit to give.
I still think
I don't think he got nothing left in the tank. Honestly, he could be like a player coach, like a player manager, but
I'm gonna bring up his stats right now, Michael. He's had 10 at bats so far this season. You know what his stats are?
What are his stats, Adam?
He's saying 400, 500 on base percentage, 500 slugging, 1.000 OPS. Brett Gardner has been solid the start of this season. Now it's only 10 games. We still have to it's still obviously the season. We always say the season is it's a grind. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So we'll see if Gardner can keep this up. But right now Brett Gardner isn't right now Brett Gardner is not a big concern for his team in my opinion. David, you had something to say?
Yeah, it's not really a question, but it's one of my opinions. Going back to what you said about Yankees defense.
Yeah.
I want to get into that real quick. So what you're saying that you're trying to say that you're trying to shift their defense. Because they have the right card in their pocket, so it tells them where to go, and it depends where the manager wants them to go. Because they shift their defense, like say you guys don't have someone like you can be behind the base or front of the base. So that's how defense shifts sometimes. And my other thing I want to mention about Garner. I'm not sure if he's got to go just because I'm not sure his contract is due.
Well, you could basically release him if you have a contract. So if you could have a bad contract, you could still release the player either way, or you could trade them either way, unless if Brent Gardner has a no trade clause, which he could only break and say, "Hey, I automatically want to be traded." Because I know baseball contract same thing as basketball. Once you have a no trade clause, like I remember Roger Clemens had the biggest contract for the Yankees in history when he had. I have a family contract. I can go to any game I want, bring as much people as I want, which was the most stupidest contract that George Steinbrenner has ever made. God rest his soul. For any contract for any MLB player was Roger Clemens. Sorry to get off topic, boys, but you know the drift.
Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. And here's the thing, getting back to the dilemma that I have, like what the Yankees have with defense, like getting back to that, like let's you guys know how loaded like this offseason, like the shortstop market is this offseason, right?
Yeah.
You got Corey Seager, you got Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, you got so many like good shortstops available. So there's an opportunity that the Yankees could either A, make a trade for a shortstop, or B, sign a shortstop in the offseason. If that's true, like one of these four players, Glaber, Luke Voigt, Gio Urshela, DJ Mayu, one of them's not gonna be a Yankee next season.
Who you say is not gonna be a Yankee, Adam?
One of these four players, Glaber Torres, Gio Urshela, DJ LeMayu, Luke Voigt, one of those four. And among those, like it's gonna be tough to lose. It's gonna be tough to lose any of them. Like Glaber Torres, for all his flaws, he's a 24-year-old stud. He led the team in homers and in 2019. Like you can't give up on like a young kid like that too easily. Gio Urshela, like he's been a little streaky with the bat to start the season, but he is an absolute beast defensively, and we definitely miss his glove. Luke Voigt, the tear he went on last year, he led all of Major League Baseball in homers. And you look at DJ Mayu, like he's been a top 5 MVP candidate for the last 2 years. So I mean, like it would be tough to lose one of those guys. But I want to ask you guys, like if you had to move on from one of those guys, who would you pick?
Who we say?
Luke Voigt, Glaber Torres, DJ Mayu, or Gio Urshela. You have to get rid of one of them to make room for like a Corey Seager, Trevor Story, one of those type of guys.
Oh, that's a hard one, man. Urshela, I gotta get rid of. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Urshela too.
But can I do a trade? Can I trade one, or I gotta get rid of it?
You trade them. You'd have to trade one.
Ideally, you could get them all, but that's not the way it'll work out.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I was about to say one could take a pay cut, like in the NBA.
Want to count on it?
I know MLB they make more money than NBA.
David, you want to say something?
Yeah. I do want to say it depends. You can wait until trade deadline comes.
Yeah,
like, it would be
it's
soon.
Either going to be
but
trade deadline
yet.
or it's going to be in the offseason. But I definitely see the Yankees going out and acquire a shortstop. Like unless Glaber somehow has like a miraculous turnaround like defensively, but I don't know. I don't know how optimistic you can be at that happening. Chris, Alex.
I would go with Glaber Torres.
So you would trade him?
Yeah.
You dumb. You fool.
As a fan of him, like that definitely pulls at my heartstrings, but that's definitely a possibility. Like especially if he if he has like a bad year offensively like he did in 2020, then yeah, like then like trading Gleyber Torres is definitely like a possibility. Like now if he let's say he continues to struggle defensively, but he rebounds offensively, like I think you ultimately keep him. But yeah, if he continues to let me bring up his stats so far this season. So far, Gleyber Torres is saying 250, on base percentage of 333, slugging percentage of 292, OPS of 625. Like he's 6 for 24, 5 singles, 1 double, and 3 walks. Those aren't terrible numbers like for the start of the season, but those are definitely underwhelming. And it would definitely break my heart to see Gleyber go because it's such a fan of his. Like I love like his energy. Like he's like a little kid out there playing the game, so I would definitely miss him. But as I say, baseball is a business. You gotta do what's in the best interest of the team. So to get back to your question, though, if I had to pick one person to trade, it breaks my heart to say this because I'm also a fan of his. I have to pick Luke Voigt because Luke Voigt, like he's been a stud for the Yankees, especially last year. But he's another like Judge Stanley, is another guy who in the past has been injury prone.
He's big.
Like he's been injury prone, and he's been injury prone, and you have to value yourself, and he's not and even though he's like not nearly as bad as Gleyber defensively, he's not the best defensive first baseman either. But so I think Luke. Plus, I think you could get a lot more in return for Voigt than you could like a Gio or a Shell. So, gun to my head, I'm trading one of them right now. I'm trading Luke Voigt, but who knows? Like you could ask me like 4 months from now, and my opinion could completely change. David.
Sure, I know you mentioned Luke Voigt.
Yeah.
I just mentioned that his body size is big. Like I seen him hit a home run before.
Yeah, he's definitely a giant dude.
Yeah, and Judge is tall. Like he's a power hitter, but I mean he's dominant.
Yeah.
And speaking of Aaron Judge, I have his AAA minor league card with the role models.
Oh wow, that's awesome, David. That's awesome. So yeah, I think we're done talking Yankees. Anyone else have any final thoughts on the Yankees? All right, Michael, great hot take as always. You brought the heat as always. So
I redeemed myself, people. Chris, I redeemed myself.
Yep.
Chris?
It was
bravo.
Yep, Michael, you definitely redeemed yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Haters, man. You haven't drinking.
Can't let him get too cocky, but it was a good.
I can always get cocky. All my hot takes are brilliant.
All right, all right, we're gonna talk more baseball in a second, but we gotta get to a very serious story. The Deshaun Watson accusations just keep on getting more and more ugly, more and more serious. And Chris, like I've seen you've been very outspoken on this on Twitter, so I'm gonna give you the floor here. Go ahead.
Well, I just put out one tweet because I've been a huge fan of Watson for a long time, going back to college days when he was at Clemson. I've been a Clemson fan for a while, so when he was there, it was a fun time. And I'm never gonna like bash him or anything until he's proven guilty or anything. But it's just, we talked about it a little bit, but it's just not looking good for him. But you just gotta wait till all the facts out. Like I'm not gonna, because he's lost some of the sponsorships and stuff. So like
for those who don't know, he's lost his. I know he's lost his. Well, he's suspended his sponsorship with Nike.
And Beats by Dre.
Yeah, so he's
they parted ways basically.
Yeah.
So that endorsement's gone, and there easily could have been others that I missed. But
so for those of you who don't know, recently, 2 of the 22 women. I believe that's the number right now. 2 of the 22 women have 2 of the recently spoke out, and I'm just gonna read you like One of the women actually wrote a letter to Deshaun Watson. I'm just gonna read it out to you right now. And here it is. I am heartbroken for your family, for your loved ones, for those coming to terms with the fact that your chair work and good guy persona has nothing but more than a maliciously designed facade to keep your victims silent and second guessing themselves. How could such a good man do terrible things and with frequency and total regard for his abuse victims? You are not a good man. Anything good you have done is poisoned by your true nature. Maybe you suffered abuse yourselves in the past, and maybe you have generally attempted to convince yourself, as much as us, your victims to the general public, that you are without fault. Maybe you need a sense of a professional long-term help, but that does not humanize you or the terrors you inflicted on countless powerless women. I have written upon the recommendation of my trauma therapist to forgive myself for not speaking up sooner, to forgive myself for not being braver. But I've also written this so that you can know, without excuse or justification, that you have deeply and adversity brought terror to me and others. Now, obviously,
hold up.
let me say something, Michael. Then I'm gonna give you the floor. Say something. Right now, we are stressed. Nothing like there's no verdict. Like, as we all know, this situation is still ongoing. So right now, Deshaun Watson at this moment is still technically innocent until proven guilty. So I should get this out there because I made this mistake once before. Remember a couple of months ago, when last year with the Tcnj Baker situation where he was charged with armed robbery. There was so much evidence against them. It seemed like they were definitely guilty, and the Giants ended up actually releasing him not long following the accusations. Now we eventually learned that the charges were eventually dropped. So again, you have to again, we always preach innocent until proven guilty, because there could be a lot of evidence to point towards someone being guilty, and then in one day it could all go up the flames. So we definitely want to say that. But right now with the fact that there are 22 women, 2 of them have actually came out and have spoken out against Deshaun Watson. You just heard that's definitely significant evidence, and you can't just dismiss that. Michael, go ahead. And then we'll get to you, Axe. Then we'll get to you.
You know something, Big Daddy Adam? Yeah. Here's the thing. They always want to keep them. I know this is I'm not supposed to play defense on both sides, but I know I'm supposed to be not biased on our podcast, but I'm gonna be totally biased. I'm saying in America, especially if black men got a little money in his pocket. Mm-hmm. They always want to play the rape. If they reject him, I'm guessing that he rejected them. You know what I mean? Because if any black man's a celebrity, they're gonna have. They want to tear you. They want to tear you down. They don't want to see a black man succeed in this world. I'm sorry to be a little biased towards it, to be a little sensitive towards it. They don't want to see a black man succeed in the world. That's the white America's worst nightmare. Black man, existential black men. I'm just gonna keep it real. I know we're supposed to be.
Michael, biased. You're definitely not wrong, and you're definitely not wrong, and the systematic racism that continues to play this country.
I think it has to be because this fight's been happening for over millions of years, since before we were even alive. It's always been white versus black, black versus white. But we're all people at the end of the day. We all love sports. We all like to have fun and nitty gritty on the show. But we always got to deal with what's going on with this world. You guys know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're a human race. If he made a mistake, he made a mistake. If he did it, he did it. If he didn't do it,
this is not a mistake, though.
If he did it, he did it. If he didn't do it, let the black man do what he's put on this earth to do, to play football. Here's the thing. O.J. Simpson allegedly killed his ex-wife. They put him in the Hall of Fame. If the dude didn't do it, he didn't do it.
And here's the thing, all the court cases right now, I believe, are civil. Has any of the court cases gone to criminal suit yet? I don't think so. Because if you remember, O.J. Simpson was found not guilty in criminal trial, but he was found guilty in the the civil trial. So,
But in the national trial,
like
OJ
in
was
civil
out.
trial, it's much easier to it's
The
much
last
easier to
time I can
prove.
think of the world going for black people versus white people was the OJ trial. You had the black people rooting for OJ, and you had the white people rooting for OJ to be guilty.
I mean, I can't really say I'm rooting for either side because on one hand, Deshaun Watson's always been one of my favorite quarterbacks, like in this league. But at the same time, like we want like women to like speak out about
100%.
assaults, like stuff like this, you know.
You 100%, Adam. I know the six of us hate women abusers. That's the one thing we could all agree on.
I agree.
We all hate women abusers. We don't condone men that abuse women. That's the one thing I can't condone. Because I have two sisters and I have a mother. And I have two older sisters. I will kill for them if somebody abused them.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. As men, we all came. There's a favorite. There's a quote. I go. We came from a woman. We gotta think like a woman. We came from a woman, and that's why. And you know who made that quote? The late great Tupac Shakur made that quote. We gotta think like women. We gotta act like women. Because we came from a woman, and people gotta realize that you can't be abusing any type of woman, black, Spanish. Hell, if you're a purple woman, I don't care. We're not gonna disrespect you. I don't care if you're from the Avatar. We ain't gonna disrespect you. I don't care if you're from what's that movie called from Guardian of the Galaxy, and you're half alien, half woman. We ain't gonna disrespect you. But hell, if you're a black man, we ain't gonna disrespect you either. If you're a white man, we're gonna disrespect you. I don't care if you're an alien looking like Batista and freaking Guardian of the Galaxy. We ain't gonna disrespect you. Oh, Mike, calm down. We go back to sports. Alex David, you talk before I rant and I get mad and I start destroying stuff.
Okay. So.
All right, David and Alex, you go quickly.
Okay. So I just found this. It's from O.J. Simpson. He said the Juice spoke in support of Watson, who was accused of improper behavior by several women. Now, I'm a big fan of Deshaun's, but the man always had a sterling reputation, and I'm a guy who knows what accusations can do to your reputation, said Simpson. I would hate not to see him play again, and I know we got to let the system work itself out, but my prayers are with him, he added.
I mean, yeah. Also, here's something. I believe Alex, thank you for saying me this. Devontae Harris. He said he believes all up to 22 women's accusations. He believes they believe all are questionable. He put out this tweet. I'm going to read it. 22 women. Somebody better have some hard evidence. This is my word against yours. Accusations starting to get questionable. Makes it hard for the women who actually deal with sexual assault to want to come forward because they don't want to be considered liars. Here's the thing, and this is the scary part. If Deshaun Watson is found innocent or he's found not guilty, if he's not convicted, then it's gonna become that much harder for women to come forward because here's the thing, if 22 women come out against Deshaun Watson and then he's actually proven innocent, how hard it would just make it that much. It would just make it that much easier to question whether or not women are lying. It would it's definitely it would just be unbelievable how Tony Busby and whoever how far some people would go to completely tear down a man's reputation. I mean, this is scary stuff. I mean, David, go quickly. I want to move on from this. You guys know, I hate talking about stuff like this. I like to keep it. I like to keep this podcast to strictly about sports. But when sports and this type of stuff interesting, we gotta talk about it. So David, you have something to say?
Can it be the topic, the same topic, real quick?
Go ahead, very quickly.
Just to end it. Hopefully, whatever happens, hopefully football will start back up soon. But I know
Football's definitely gonna start back up. Whether Deshaun Watson will be a quarterback in that league, that's a question for another day. But that's all we really have. I mean, does anyone have any final thoughts? Like, just if you do, like, just get them out now, please. All right, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. So it's time. Like, we're running a little bit low on time. I hate to end this. I normally don't like ending like episodes on such a sour note, but we're running a little bit low on time, so we gotta like get to our vets. So last episode, I had the Penguins over the Rangers on the money line. I lost that bet, so I'm now at 4-5, still at 36.94 points. Chris won his bet. He had the Grizzlies over the Hawks on the money line. The Grizzlies won over the Hawks, and he has earned himself a cool 12.6 points. So Chris is now 5-4, 47.15 points. So he's in second place. In first place it remains David. He had the 36ers over the Celtics -1. He went 9.09 points. The 76ers won that game and they covered, and David's out at first place, 5-4 record, 49.09 points. Michael had the 76ers over the Celtics on the money line. As we mentioned before, the 76ers beat the Celtics. He got 8.62 points, so Michael's now 4-5, 38.62 points, and Marcellus, my friend. Oh, we gave him 2 picks to try to get him caught up. He lost both. He had the Heat over the Grizzlies -5. He lost that bet. He had the Pelicans over the Hawks +3 on the spread. He lost that bet too. So Marcellus is now 0-5, 0 points. And
dang, cuz you whack.
Marcellus, what's going on?
Hey man, I gotta get back on track, man. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta pick that guy, I guess.
All right. So and by the way, we didn't mention Alex's bet because Alex had Giannis Antetokounmpo over on a 3.5. We ruled that as an NA because
Alex should have get the F to the guy.
Because Giannis turned out like he then got injured and he could not play that game. Here's our rule when it comes to injuries.
Whoa!
Like here's the rule when it comes to like player props and injuries. Like if we knew the player was injured beforehand and you still bet them, you're gonna take an L because like do your research, no matter. But if you bet the player and then he turns out to be injured, like we're gonna give you a pass on that one. So Alex is getting an NA. So he's still at 4-4. He still has the same point total of 33.7 points. So so to get you caught up, Alex, like when we get to you and Marcellus can have up to 2 bets, all right?
How's Alex get 2 bets? Whoa.
Just went over with Michael.
I'm messing with you guys. All
right. So I'm gonna go first. All right. I got a rebound and I'm gonna make my first ever baseball bet.
Don't pick the Yankees, bro.
I am picking the Yankees over the Rays. Corey Kluber is on the mound against R Hill. Like Corey Kluber was great in his first start. I expect to keep that up, and the Rays. The Rays, I believe, just got swept. I believe by the Boston Red Sox. So
okay,
fair enough. I believe they did. I could, if anyone wants to double check on me, I'm not. Feel free to do so. So I'm going to pick the Yankees over the Rays on the spread -1.5.
Okay.
All right,
Chris, you're next, brother.
So I can go next. I was gonna switch it up and do some baseball, but before the show, Mike was talking smack, saying the Knicks were going to win tomorrow. So I'm going to go Grizzlies on the spread. To
Did I
In this
anchor
game.
you, little man? Did I
You did.
anchor you?
The Grizzlies have been playing really good basketball. They're like 9-2 in their last 11.
Hey, I didn't
Only
even
2 losses
say
against the
nothing. I didn't
Jazz.
When did I say this, Chris?
You said the Knicks were going to win tomorrow, and
When did I say
hit me.
this?
You said the Knicks were going to win tomorrow before the show, brother.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say that.
I remembered. I did not forget. The Grizzlies will cover tomorrow. Right now, I think it's -1.5, but they will cover. And beat
so you're picking them to cover?
Cover.
Oh, okay. Right now it's -1.5. All right.
Oh, poor little Chris. Oh, did I anchor Chris? David, you a big fella.
There you're up.
I'm doing my first time doing a hockey bet.
David, you black. We don't know anything about hockey.
Oh my god. I'm going to go for Capitals over Sabres.
Is there a Capital or Sabres spread or money line?
Spread.
All right, so Cavs are favored -1.5. With a pretty decent game though. If you bet they're +150 on the spread. So that's pretty decent game when they're facing a bad team like Buffalo. You expect them to beat them by more than 1 goal. So I definitely like that bet from you, David. I really do. Alex, your turn. And you can make up the 2 bets since we're giving you a free one.
My first one is going to be Dodgers money line against the Nationals.
Okay.
And my second one is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers money line.
Oh boy, he's going right back to the Sixers. The Sixers, I believe, right now are playing the New Orleans Pelicans tomorrow on the money line. So yeah, so that's a game that's a game to show. But I like the confidence you're gonna have going right back to your team, Alex. I really do. All right, Marcellus, you're up.
You got 2 bets, baby boy.
How many bets I get again?
2.
Ooh, 2 bets. I did a bet. For my first bet, I got Pacers money line over Orlando tomorrow.
Pacers money line over Orlando.
I got. What's my last one? I also got Boston money line over the Timberwolves.
You got Boston money line over the Timberwolves. Gotcha. And
Yep.
who previous one again? Can you repeat?
Indiana over Orlando.
On money line?
Yeah.
Okay. So Pacers over Orlando on the money line and Celtics over Timberwolves on the money line. So
Yeah, man, I gotta get my first 2 wins. So
so I like it. So you're playing it safe, easy. All right? I don't blame you, Marcellus. I don't blame you. So all right, so last up we have Big Money Mike doing his pick. Michael, take it away.
What's my record, baby? Tell me what my record
is. 4-5.
I'm 4-5. Okay, I need to get to 500. A good friend of mine in this call right now called me out. You know who he is. We know who he is on this group call, saying that his team's going to beat my team this tomorrow. Not so fast, my friend. Adam, I've been picking business over personally. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm 2-0 when I pick business. When I pick personal, I'm 1-1. I'm 1-2. I'm 2-2. So you know what? I'm thinking with my heart. You know they say, wherever you leave your heart will be forever in it. But this week I'm picking my heart, Daddy-O, because when somebody calls me out, I respond to the challenge, and I'm picking the Knicks over the Grizzlies money line. Now, can you dig that?
Chris, you have anything to say to that?
I
love it. So
Good game.
Chris and Michael will be going
when
head to
somebody
head
called me out, I never
on their
backed
bets in
down
this
from the
on this
challenge.
upcoming episode.
I lost
and,
the
you know,
last head-to-head matchup on the betting picks on this podcast, and I'm not losing another.
Hey, I got called out. Hey, Adam, you know me. When somebody called me out, I gotta prove. I gotta call up. I gotta put up. Shut up. Hey, Alex, you know me better. You and Marcellus and Adam know me better. Name on this call with David. Chris don't know that well. When you call me out, I respond to the challenge.
I like it. I like that mindset.
Hey, Chris, you called me out, brother. I had to respond. It had to be a good host. You know what I mean? You wiping your feet on my house. I had to show you who the alpha dog is.
You got a confidence, big man.
If you want to just take a free out, go for it. But
Chris, oh man.
Hey, Adam. Hey, can we get it on camera when Chris cries on the next episode when he loses to me?
You know what? We might have to start doing our silent counts then. We might have to start doing that, but that's a different subject for another day. So,
do you need a rag to cover your tears right now?
I'm good. Maybe tears of joy tomorrow.
All right, we gotta end the episode right now. We gotta end the episode. Again, Michael, prayers to you and your family and loved ones on what you're going to do. Definitely, I can't imagine what you're going to do. So just know that all of us at the Game podcast, we got your back.
Thank you.
All right, so somber episode today, but you know what? We still managed to have some laughs and put some smiles on people's faces and to brighten their day.
My cousin, my man's up there, Dominic, is telling me to whip Chris's butt in this head-to-head challenge with my Knicks being the Grizzlies. I am dedicating this victory to my man Dominic that passed away. This is for you, bro.
Oh man,
give me some good luck up there. Tell him to play my numbers up there. And Chris, when my Knicks win tomorrow, I want to personally call you and FaceTime you after the game. Ask Alex this. I'm the biggest sore winner when I win. I'm going to call you right in advance. I'm going to call you till you answer when my team wins. And then win.
I'll be answering. I'll be celebrating.
Hey, Chris. Hey, my team wins, yo. Do you want to pay? Yo, loser got to pay the bar tag.
All right. But I think it's excellent that despite we go to Mike, we're still able to, despite the disturbing stuff we had to report on this episode, we're still able to have laughs. We're still able to put smiles on not just ours but all the listeners' faces. I love that about this podcast. I'll treasure.
And I'm gonna do the outro. The Michael fans want Michael to do the outro.
Go do the outro. Do it, Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Adam Grassani, Chris Kern, Marcellus Murdock, David Heller, and Alex Rich, and myself, Michael Cunningham, thank you for supporting Get Your Game On. We appreciate you for our next episode, which will be on Sunday and Monday of next week. For our future episodes, stay lit, have fun, love sports, don't cheat yourself out of reality. Be true to yourself, be true to your family and your friends. Thank you for watching Get Your Game On. And we're out.